The ancient computer that shouldn't exist. The Mediterranean sun glinted off the bronze fragments as Greek sponge divers hauled their discovery onto the deck of their boat in 19. They had been working the waters off the island of Antikythera, recovering artifacts from a Roman shipwreck that had rested on the seafloor for over 2,000 years. Among the marble statues and pottery shards lay a corroded lump of bronze that seemed unremarkable compared to the other treasures. The divers had no way of knowing they had recovered what would become one of archaeology's most disturbing discoveries, a device that would force historians to reconsider everything they believed about ancient technological capabilities. The corroded bronze mechanism sat in storage for decades before scholars began to understand its true significance. When archaeologists finally subjected the fragments to X-ray analysis in the 1970s, they discovered an intricate system of interlocking gears unlike anything known from the ancient world. The mechanism served as an analog computer designed to predict astronomical events with remarkable accuracy. It could calculate the positions of the sun, moon, and known planets for any given date, predict eclipses decades in advance, and track the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games. Carbon dating confirmed that the Antikythera mechanism had been constructed around 100 BCE during the Hellenistic period when Greek culture dominated the eastern Mediterranean. This dating created an immediate problem for historians who had assumed that such complex mechanical engineering was impossible in the ancient world. The Greeks who created this device possessed detailed knowledge of planetary orbital periods that modern astronomy has confirmed to be accurate within minimal margins of error. They understood that lunar cycles could be predicted using mathematical ratios and that eclipse patterns followed calculable sequences. Imagine the implications of this discovery for our understanding of ancient intellectual achievement. This mathematical sophistication required generations of careful observation and theoretical development that historians had not suspected existed in such refined form during the Hellenistic period. The precision required to create the device's gear ratios and astronomical calculations suggested knowledge that scholars believed had been lost during the fall of the Roman Empire and not rediscovered until the Renaissance. The device's sophistication was unmatched in the archaeological record until much later periods. Modern attempts to reconstruct the Antikythera mechanism have required advanced computer-aided design and precision machining equipment to replicate the ancient device's capabilities. Engineers using contemporary manufacturing techniques have struggled to match the precision of the original bronze gears, raising uncomfortable questions about ancient technological capabilities that seem to have vanished completely from the historical record. Only fragments of the original mechanism survive, with an estimated 2/3 of the device lost to corrosion and the passage of time. This partial preservation means that researchers can only speculate about the mechanism's complete capabilities and the full extent of its astronomical calculations. The surviving fragments suggest that the complete device may have tracked additional celestial bodies and performed calculations that are now impossible to verify or reconstruct. What makes the Antikythera mechanism particularly unsettling is not just its technological sophistication, but what its existence implies about lost knowledge from the ancient world. If Greek engineers could create such complex mechanical computers, what other advanced devices might have existed during antiquity? The mechanism suggests that entire branches of ancient technology may have disappeared so completely that we have no historical record of their existence. The device forces us to confront the possibility that technological progress is not always linear and cumulative. Civilizations can lose capabilities that took centuries to develop, and knowledge that seems fundamental can vanish when the social and economic conditions that supported its development change. The fall of the Roman Empire may have resulted in the loss of technological knowledge that would not be rediscovered for over a millennium. If the Hellenistic world could produce this, what other technical knowledge might have been lost? The Antikythera mechanism represents a technological ghost from the ancient world, a device that should not exist according to our current understanding of historical development. Its bronze gears continue to challenge assumptions about ancient intellectual achievement and technological capability. The mechanism proves that our ancestors possessed mathematical and engineering knowledge far more sophisticated than historians had imagined possible for the Hellenistic period. This ancient computer reminds us that human knowledge can be fragile and that even the most remarkable achievements can be forgotten when civilizations collapse or transform. The mechanism stands as evidence that history may have erased technologies and knowledge systems that took generations to develop and centuries to rediscover. But lost technological knowledge wasn't the only type of information that could vanish from human understanding. Sometimes the most tantalizing mysteries involved written records that survived the centuries physically intact, yet remained completely incomprehensible to anyone who tried to read them.